Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Pete TK Bland back in the building with another episode of the Shop Podcast. Thank you guys for showing up on this beautiful Saturday evening. I know things are starting a little bit slow. The week's been a little bit slow, but we're going to keep this thing pushing. I got my good buddy Zalker here with me. We kind of running a skeleton crew here today. We still going to have fun, still do what we got to do, still talk about these games. The show may not run as long as it normally does. It's just based on, how engaging everything is. We got the topics lined up, but we'll see how things go. We still gonna rock it out anyway. So shout out to everybody watching this live right now. As you're coming in, just say hello in the chat. As you're stopping in, if you're new here, make sure you like the video, subscribe. We got big things planned for 2019 on the podcast. But before I go any further, I'm going to let Zalker, let them know where they can find you at. G.
What up, everybody? It's good to be back on, the Shops podcast. We're kicking ass up in here. We have some awesome topics for you guys. But yeah, you guys can find me here Saturday. Having a good time and talking with my boys, man. Let's have a good one, man.
Appreciate it, man. Let's go ahead and start then. So, Fuzzy guys, if you guys are listening, Fuzzy may just jump in here, not entirely sure. Shout out to Fuzz, shout out to Jarhead as well. They're also part of the Shop Podcast. Appreciate them. They're a huge, huge, huge part of the show. So let's just go ahead and dive in, man. So we'll go ahead and just start with the first topic, man. You may know more actually a little bit about this than I do, honestly. The whole Mad Box thing. I did kind of look over it a little bit just to get a general idea about what's going on, but essentially there's this Mad Box. I can't tell based on the pictures whether it's a PC or it's an actual console. I don't know what their aim is. Maybe you can inform me. You've been looking at this a little bit better, but all I know is that they've been making waves. It just happened, I think, recently, like maybe this week essentially, last week, sorry, that they announced that this is something maybe coming to the market. So what is your opinion on that Mad Box? Is that something that you realistically gonna buy? I mean, what is their goal essentially for that Mad Box? Is that something you would think you would even buy? I know you have PC and you play on console. Is that something that's even feasible for you? Like, then does it make any sense?
Nah, man, it doesn't make any sense at all, bro. Like, I don't understand why it's even a thing, to be honest.
So you think it's Steam Box?
Yeah, no, I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. Like, it's a developer that's just nothing. Like, they've made mediocre games. Apparently, they haven't done a lot. They I don't know, like they're so like niche and small. Like I don't even know how they're gonna fund this console. I think it's just a publicity stunt. I don't know what they're doing, like kind of get eyes on their developer and on maybe their games and stuff. But who's gonna buy a console from a small independent studio, right? They're not gonna buy a digital copy because you don't feel comfortable with them, right? You're not going to. A lot of people just it's just weird, man. It's really weird. I just find it stupid. I think they're late to the party. I think the next big thing is going to be streaming. I think if anybody wants to start maybe coming into the console space or the gaming space, you have to go through streaming or making games and make money through that way, like kind of like EA does or Bethesda.
Mm-hmm.
I think Xbox, Nintendo, and PlayStation have the console space kind of down unless something happens drastically, which will change the industry. But these guys are just I think it's all fluff, man. And they said 3 years away, ain't shit.
Yeah, and even the way I didn't even like the design. I saw it. I'm like, what? It looks like something. You know how you go and you can't get the actual name brand. You go to the store like, okay, I can't get the name
RC
brand. So,
Cola.
Yeah, it's the RC Cola. Sam's Cola, but it's not the Coca-Cola, the Pepsi. It just looks like it's. I have no idea. I don't even know if there's any.
I don't even know how they have a design 3 years out.
Bro, I saw a picture. Shout out to I believe it was Jamie and it was Snoopy as well. Snoopy 6'7" or G7. Sorry. He put up some pictures online. I don't know if they're mock-ups, but it looked terrible.
Even if it is a mock-up, how are you gonna have a fucking design for something 3 years out that's not even tested electronically, like electrical engineers and mechanical engineers testing it and being like, yeah, this is plausible with the technology that's available to us now. Like, what the fuck? I mean, we're living in Neverland. Like, what's happening?
I don't know. It does feel like a publicity stunt. To me, it just doesn't make sense. First of all, if you guys listen in the chat, it's very, very expensive to make consoles. That is a very, very, very expensive thing to do. That's why just Sony, just Microsoft, and just Nintendo are doing it. We've seen other companies, big companies, far bigger than the one that's attempting to do this Mad Box. Even Steam. Steam is a huge platform. They got plenty of money to do it, and they failed horribly when they tried to do the whole Steam box, with the whole different SKUs, and they had like 6 different companies making 6 different versions. It was ridiculous, and it was convoluted. Didn't know what was going on. But I thought this was just a joke. I didn't even take it seriously initially. I'm like, and what studio was it or developer was it? I didn't even.
Oh, I don't even fucking know the name.
Oh, see?
They made a drive game or something, like a driving game that was just a fucking flop.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point,
Yeah.
any game that releases next to Forza is just gonna get fucking wrecked
Yeah.
on. But
Yeah.
you know, I just don't know, man. Like, I mean, even like, let's be honest here. When Apple released their App Store, a lot of people didn't know what to expect from Android, and they didn't adapt Android very quickly. And that is Google and Android and you know, all these other huge companies that made this other app store, and people are like, I don't know, man, Apple's kind of killing it. Like, I don't know, you're not, you know. And you're gonna tell me all these people, like these consumers, are gonna go to this mad box and be like, oh fuck yeah, instead of just building a PC and then just freaking making, like, you know, a rig that they can trust in Steam and the Windows Store when that gets launching.
Forget the last 20 years and all the history that Nintendo and Sony and Xbox have as far as making consoles. They should go buy this Mad Box because it looks cool. You know, did you even get to see the design? It looks like the McDonald's M. It was the most ridiculous console design I've ever seen in my life. They have different colors. It reminds you remember the old iMacs when they first came out, the different color ones, the big bubble ones, the orange, the yellow. It exactly reminds me of that cheap colored plastic and just some weird, odd, flashy case.
Have you ever seen Coming to America with Eddie Murphy?
Yeah.
Do you remember his like father-in-law, whatever the guy he's trying to get? He has it instead of McDonald's, it's called McDowell's. That's what it is, the M, McDowell's, you know? He's like, we don't have the golden arches, we have the golden arcs. That's what it reminds me of, bro.
McDowell's, holy moly! Now, once again, guys, we're this is all in good fun. Everybody in the chat, we're just having fun here. I want us to start off with something light because I didn't even really read the article all the way. I got about halfway through, and I'm like, I'm not listening. I'm not reading anymore. This is ridiculous. Like, this is crazy. I'm not. I can't even. I thought it was just like some kind of promo or something. Do they have another game coming out?
I thought it was a troll. People are like, oh, Mad's box. I'm like, what? Like, what's happening? I'm like, what's going on? And then I read it and I was like, oh, these fuckers are for real. Then I was like, these fuckers aren't for real.
Yeah, there can't be.
It just sounds like horse shit, to be honest.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. I don't know how you would. I don't know. Like I said before, if anybody doesn't understand how hard it is to start, like to make a console, a successful console. I mean, there's companies at Sega that have fell out. Sega was on top of the game for years. I mean, you talk about a whole, like, my entire childhood, Sega was
Sonic the fucking Hedgehog, bro.
Sonic the Hedgehog, that was my thing, and they fell right off a cliff very quickly with a very successful console. Even though everybody that actually played the Dreamcast loves it, that was essentially their last console.
Let's be honest, man. After the N64,
Nintendo,
right?
Well, they stayed with the cartridges. The cartridges.
Well, not even the cartridges, bro. But like, look at like them now. They're not even competing in like the graphical outtake that Xbox and PlayStation are.
Yeah,
let's be real. They're doing their own little thing. You know, they're in their corner. They're killing it in their corner, and they're killing it in that console space. But some people don't even consider the Switch a console. And this is a huge company, Nintendo, that has years of success in the console space.
But the thing about that is, though, the difference with this Mad Box and with Nintendo is that they can get away with that. They have a pedigree. You know what I'm saying? People, we know what we're getting from Nintendo. You know, even
first-party games.
First-party games, exactly. And they're the only publisher to make. I mean, the only publisher. They're the only out of the big three. They're the only people that actually, I won't say make their own games, but they literally are. Like they really are the beginning and the end. Like if Nintendo doesn't decide to put out any games, their consoles are dying. If Xbox doesn't put out any games, they got plenty of other people to make games for it. So same thing with Sony. That doesn't happen with Nintendo. If they don't make shit, no Mario, no Zelda, no Nintendo, no Switch, no nothing. So that is a big of a difference there. But that Mad Box, I don't know, guys. You guys let me know in the chat what that would potentially be. Are you excited for it? You know, are you? I don't know because I didn't think it was real. I wasn't entirely sure if it was just some gag, or maybe, you know, sometimes every now and then we get these developers that put out, you know, little fun tweets. Maybe they got a game coming. I don't know. Remember when Xbox couldn't market Destiny, so they did the Destiny cologne thing.
Yep, that got me actually. That's when Destiny came out. I didn't have an Xbox, to be honest.
Oh wow. I
didn't have an Xbox One. I had a 360.
Yeah.
But I had a PC that I was mainly gaming on. But you know, the reveal of the Xbox really deterred me. I was like, oh man, I don't know. Like, and it wasn't even like the Connect. It was the way they showed it and the way they talked about it.
Yeah.
And the no backwards compat and all this. And I was like, ugh. And then Sony was the same thing. And I was like, I'm not upgrading to next gen until some shit gets figured out. And so when Destiny came out, I was like, that's a game I want to play. And that's a game I want to play. My buddy's like, we're getting it on Xbox. I'm like, yeah, of course we are. And plus they announced like Gears and stuff, and that was like my baby.
Yeah,
yeah. And so when I got it, I remember I was like, I'm gonna wait for a deal. And then they're like, yeah, if you buy an Xbox, you get any game you want for free. And it was and everybody bought Destiny for free. They got Destiny. I got it for free. I bought a system, got Destiny for free at GameStop.
Yeah, that's the time when they were doing anything they could to get people in the door to buy the Xbox at that point, to try and change. They literally pulled the plug out the drain. They essentially let the water out. Mm-hmm. They were trying to get anybody to just any kind of good press towards Xbox at that time. It was damn near giving away stuff. Here's 3 games if you buy an Xbox. Here's 3 games and a $50 gift card to Red Lobster for an Xbox.
Red Lobster.
They were trying to do anything.
Here's $25 gift card to McDowell's.
Exactly. Where the Mad Box comes in the actual Happy Meal.
Yeah, the little fucking keychain.
Oh my goodness. All right, so let's go ahead and keep moving, guys. We're going to move on to the next topic. So next thing we're going to be talking about is really fun, Metro Exodus. That's something that I've been really interested in talking about. It's something it's a game that's like kind of lost in the shuffle. Like, to be honest with you, Zalker, like at all the games we've been talking about the last 2-3 months, or 2-3 weeks, I should say, especially towards the end of the year, this game has not been talked about very much at all. Like, the Anthem's there. We've talked about Crackdown a bunch, obviously Anthem a bunch, Days Gone, even Rage, all these other games. But Metro is one of those games where it keeps being made every generation. Sometimes we get 2 Metros, depending on how long the generation lasts. There hasn't the last 3 generations we've gotten a Metro, or at least since the 360, right?
Yeah,
we've gotten a Metro for the most part. So I think we got 2 during the 360, 2 different Metros, I believe.
Yeah, during they kind of remastered and brought the new ones out.
Exactly.
The ones that came out.
Yeah, the Redux, Metro Redux. But the game is phenomenal. I know after seeing the trailer, it made me really excited about it because it looks great. It looks like BioShock-ish, Fallout-ish, post-apocalyptic. The graphics look amazing. So what do you think about them moving their release date to like a week sooner? Because we all thought this was coming the 22nd, like Crackdown, like Anthem, and they moved it to the 15th. So do you think that was a good move for them to do that?
Well, I think a lot of everything just got out of the fucking way of Anthem. Everybody was like, nah, we're good. And, Crackdown moved to the 15th. Far Cry Red Dawn's 15th. Metro Exodus 15th. Like, damn. Like, that's now 15th is packed. Like, is somebody going to
Weren't they announced? Weren't they all announced on the 22nd at E3, though?
Yeah, they were all announced. All 3 of the. Oh, and Days Gone was announced on the 22nd.
Yeah, Days Gone as well.
And Days Gone was like, we suck. We need to move because our game's shit right now. I'm just joking, people. Hey, just jokes. Relax. But, and I feel that Metro Exodus move was a smart one, but it is lost in the shuffle because Crackdown has, that feel of not even just Game Pass, that feel of like a Microsoft exclusive.
Yeah.
Right? It's a Microsoft exclusive. It's coming. Bam. Has more publicity than that game will. And it's going to be on Game Pass, so a lot more people are going to try it. You know what? And maybe it helps Metro, because people won't be putting $60 on Crackdown. They'll just have the subscription, and it'll help Metro maybe sell a couple copies.
Yeah.
We don't know. We just don't know. I want to see how it does. The game looks like it's high end, it looks high end. It looks like it's going to be freaking crazy. I'm not getting it when it comes out, though. I'm going to be playing Crackdown like crazy.
And right up until Anthem.
And then Anthem comes out, and I'm basically going to tap the vein, and fucking go. Like, that's what I'm going to do with Anthem. Like, me and my buddy are ready. They just announced for Anthem in 3 weeks, the demo's coming out for people to play, the open demo.
Oh, yeah.
And so we'll play that. But, is Metro a game that you're getting, like, day one, bro?
You know what? No, it's not. I don't think it ever really was. Even if you go back, I've done multiple videos about this in the past. Especially at the end of last year. It's on my list. It's like an honorable mention if you had to like give it a spot. It's definitely showed a lot better than I anticipated. The games are always Metro. It reminds me. It's kind of in that Just Cause space. You see these Just Cause. It's the same thing. Like, they just keep being made. You don't understand why until you actually sit down and play the game. You're like, oh, this is why they keep making it. Like, but you don't ever really, you know what I'm saying? Like, it always gets passed over. And those are the kind of games that, think about it, it's probably going to be on sale fairly quickly. Probably by summertime, you're going to get it for $20 less than what it was probably by the time E3 rolls around. So, and then at that point, during that lull, we'll have time to play a game like Metro, which is a single player game.
You know, I think it's kind of, I think Metro's a little, I'm going to be honest, I think Metro's a little fucked.
What? I wouldn't say that.
I mean, bud, look at when it's coming out. So we have all the Metro stuff right now, right? So it's coming out when there's Crackdown, Far Cry, all the games in January. First of all, Kingdom Hearts and the Resident Evil.
I forgot about Kingdom Hearts and Resident Evil.
Yeah, so all those games coming out, bud. And then you got Anthem, which is going to take people's lives away for at least 2 to 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
And then right when that 2 to 3 week period of Anthem and leveling's done, Division 2 drops. And so then you got Division 2.
Then Days Gone. No, Days Gone actually got moved.
Days Gone is April.
Then Rage is May.
And then Rage is May, which is similar to Metro, except a little more fun, it looks like, a little different. Right?
Oh, Lord, yeah.
So that looks crazy. And then you got E3 with all the other games, and maybe in the summer people will pick it up. But I just don't see it. Like I like, for me, like I was almost like, I didn't say this out loud, right? But
yeah,
I was almost for sure Metro was going to go to Game Pass. I thought that was going to be a big announcement because it just feels like it could have supplemented it, right? Kind of helped it grow, build an audience. I don't think Metro, I don't know how well the games have sold. I don't know how big they are.
Well, they keep being made, so they seem to they have enough, juice behind them to warrant another one being made, just like Just Cause. Like, that's why I throw those games together, because they're games that we consistently see, and a lot of people are like, well, why are we getting this? Nobody really asked for one, but they keep being made,
Yeah, but if you look at Metro, it kind of reminds me of like high quality game that doesn't sell well, like the Hitman games.
It's a little bit better than Hitman.
I'm not saying it's not better. I'm not saying one's better or worse.
Oh, got it.
What I'm saying is, you look at those games, and Hitman's a quality game. A lot of people really, really freaking like the game.
Yeah.
But it bombed. It bombed so bad that there's rumors that IO Interactive might be getting bought up by Microsoft and put on another IP, put on a new IP. Like, you're a talented developer, but the IP might not be strong enough to sell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that is true. And the funny thing about that is that Metro doesn't even have like an iconic character like Agent 47. Like, everybody at least knows who, when you think Hitman, you think Agent 47. He's kind of, that's not iconic, so to speak, but he has enough pull. Metro is kind of like, well, what is this? Fallout, BioShock. A lot of people, if you hadn't played the previous ones, you wouldn't really have much of a pull towards the game, because I guess it doesn't look different enough for new people. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you were new and didn't know what Metro was and you saw it, okay, that looks like a great looking game. It looks similar to like a Fallout, BioShock. You know what I'm saying? There wouldn't really be a big draw for a new customer to say, you know what, I'm going to get that game. Unless there was something specifically that they saw in a trailer or gameplay that they really liked. But with everything else coming out, like the Anthem, like you said, I don't know where it's going to fit.
No, it's not even just that. Like, we've learned through this last, fall, like this last holiday season of games, that no matter, like, just because you have a known name and like a good looking game doesn't mean it's going to sell well. Look at Shadow of the Tomb Raider, then look at Hitman, look at Fallout 76, and even Battlefield 5, right?
Sure, good point.
You need to not only make a great game, but you need to have it launch on a date that makes sense and have a name on it, and actually make the game appealing to others. Which Metro, I've heard people say it's a boring game. Like, I've heard, like, for me, I've heard people either say they loved it or they thought it was boring as shit. Like, it's not in between. It's so weird.
I didn't know that. Yeah, the funny thing is, after the Redux, and this is early in the generation, I haven't heard many people, like, nobody really talks about it much. But that's no diss or anything to Metro, because like I said, I'm still looking forward to the game. I think it showed fantastic as far as, the trailer and everything, the gameplay. It looks great, but I don't know, man. I think they are going to benefit. Obviously, you're getting away from Anthem, but I think it'll be short-lived. I don't know exactly, I think that the game within 2 to 3 months will be on sale for $35. You know what I'm saying? So 35, maybe $40, something like that during the summer sale.
It might be fucking sooner than that, man. Especially with
I wouldn't say that.
I mean, look at Battlefield, man. It went on sale after like how long? Look at Fallout. It went on sale
like
after
a
how long?
month.
Yeah,
Were,
that's what I'm
I say
saying.
2 or 3. Yeah, that's man, it's tough. It's tough out there for video games right now.
It
I'll
is,
be
man.
honest with you, bro.
That's why
It's hard.
Microsoft. That's why people were like, "Oh, Microsoft, all you're bringing out is Forza." It's like, bro, do you see the
This
holiday
shit
season?
works. This
Yeah,
shit works.
we ain't just bringing out Forza just this time because of some stupid reason. It's because look at all these other games that are coming out. It's killing us, you know.
Yeah, yeah. But like you said before, it's just it's a let's be honest. This generation has probably seen some of the biggest games have such a tough time. Like last generation, if you told me Fallout was going to struggle, Hitman was going to struggle, Tomb Raider was going to struggle, certain franchises, I would have told you, I'd have smacked you in the face. Hell no, there's no way that these games would struggle this generation, and they really have. Like as far as appealing to the mass audience and hitting those numbers that a lot of the studios and things think they should hit. And a lot of us as fans of them think that they should, but it's been tough to get those people to buy into those games, man. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I think that a lot more appealing games are out. If you look at the struggles with Shadow of the Tomb Raider, is because Spider-Man was fucking demolishing.
True, good
Like
point.
even me, you and I were Xbox centric gamers. I went and bought the fucking Pro because I needed to play Spider-Man. I needed it. Like I needed it in my hands, right? I beat the game, freaking loved it. Forza came out, played the shit out of that because Forza has a name. And to be honest with you, Forza has shown nothing but quality for years. And that's it. So people know that what they're getting. They're going to buy the damn game. They're going to play it on Game Pass, whatever. And then Assassin's Creed Odyssey came out, and that game didn't sell well at the beginning, apparently. Like, it sold decent. It sold well like an Assassin's Creed. But then that word of mouth pushed that game hard, and it sold very well. And then, not to mention, I think everybody was waiting for Red Dead, which, shame on you for that disappointing game. But
here we go.
yeah. No, I'm just trolling. But yeah, no, like that's why I think they struggled because there were so many other games that people were like, hey man, not everybody can buy everything in the world, right?
Yeah.
We got budgets. People got budgets. Everybody's got a budget, right? You can't be spending unlimited money like Microsoft over here on the studio, whatever the hell that people said.
Yeah, I feel you. Okay, cool. That was a cool topic too, man. I definitely wanted to get that in because I did a video about that. I'm like, man, I want to dive into this Metro thing because I think that's going to be a benefit. I don't know how much of a benefit that remains to be seen, but I think it'll be a small benefit to the game that is not coming out anywhere near, well, not anywhere near, but like the exact same day the Anthem is coming out. So as you guys once again file in, thank you guys for liking the video, subscribe to the channel as well. We're going to do this thing big for 2019, guys. Everybody that's joining us live, as you kind of come in, say hello. We're talking games here. So not only am I answering these questions as often, but as well as you guys in the chat. So let me know, chime in, let us know what you guys think about what we're talking about. So let's go ahead and just move on to the next topic then, brother. So next thing we're talking about today, man, is going to be the poll that I put out. I do a weekly poll. If you're new here to the Shop Podcast on Twitter, follow us there. All of our links, everybody here that's part of the show, our links will be in the description and below, so you can go follow us on Twitter. I do a weekly poll every Monday, and on Saturdays, we kind of go over the results of the poll and just kind of discuss it. So the poll this week was which developer/publisher has been the most disappointing this generation? Disappointing. And the 4 options were EA, Bethesda, the other 2, let me go ahead and get it pulled up here. EA, Bethesda, Capcom, and Activision. EA, Bethesda, Capcom, and Activision. So out of those 4, which one do you think has been the most disappointing out of those 4 for you, Zal?
Activision.
That's kind of tough. What?
Fuck Activision.
You just see, I know what that is. That's your
still, what's that?
I know what that is. You still lose. So I used to be a Call of Duty fan myself.
No. You got me wrong, bro.
What is it then? What is it?
Blizzard, rest in peace. That's what it is.
What?
Blizzard dying, bro.
Overwatch is a great game.
Which one?
I said Overwatch is a great game.
Yeah, and it came out how long ago? And not to mention, it's a great game, but look at everything else they've done. Mobile Diablo, seriously, taking out dedicated trust in Heroes of the Storm. like doing all this stuff that basically pushes towards microtransaction, saying Destiny was a failure for them or this new expansion, so you're going to see more microtransactions come up to them. They are literally fuckwads, and I'm like, I'm sorry for cussing so much, but like that irritates me so much that they do that, and then they've killed my favorite, just my favorite developer, to be honest, man. Like Blizzard is my baby boo.
Yeah.
They made they made probably my most played game ever in World of Warcraft, and they made my favorite game ever in StarCraft.
Yeah.
So
And
I'm
they
just annoyed.
simultaneously destroyed both.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the poll actually, let me go ahead and pull it up.
But hold up.
Go ahead.
My most disappointing developer this generation is Rockstar.
Come on.
I mean, because I'm not counting GTA 5. GTA 5 was a 360 game to me.
Yeah, that we'll I'll give you that.
So all it is Red Dead, and man, what a great game! Amazing. Like you're looking at it, you're like, these animations are next fucking level. But then you keep going, and I'm like, man, he stayed in a freaking Fallout vault for 7 years and made this, and didn't look at what everybody else was doing in the industry with controls and everything else, right? And quality of life.
Wow.
That's my thing, man. Like, so it sucks, I hate saying it, but that was them and even Capcom. I have everything you picked, man. I have like, Capcom.
Yeah.
I can give to. I don't like Monster Hunter
World.
I
can go down the list. I can go down each one. I did it in the video, by the way, guys. Check it out.
Yeah, he did. Check that shit out.
Breakdown, guys. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and just give you the results of the poll. So the results of the poll, EA kind of ran away a little bit. I don't even know why. It's just, I think that's a knee jerk. Everybody just shits on EA automatically. We know how that goes. Okay, EA ran 34%. Then Activision actually was second, so your prediction wasn't too far off. Bethesda was third, which is my pick for the most disappointing, and then Capcom was last. Now, I'm going to explain why I think Bethesda is the most disappointing this generation, really because of the expectation. When you hear Bethesda used to be, you hear Bethesda, that was AAA, while you knew what you were getting. They were in the same vein as like a Rockstar. Like, okay, Bethesda does what it wants. They drop games when they want. Coming off of Skyrim, Oblivion, they could do nothing wrong. And then everything else that they're doing now. The weird thing about Bethesda is that their published games are great. The Dooms and things like that are fantastic, but their own damn games are trash. They've destroyed Fallout, systematically destroyed Fallout. I mean, this Fallout 76 is, I don't know if Elder Scrolls comes out and it doesn't do what everybody hopes it's going to do. I don't know if Bethesda can recover from them dropping the ball on Elder Scrolls. Do you think that would be like the nail in the coffin if they screwed up Elder Scrolls somehow? This next one?
If they fuck up Elder Scrolls, bro, it's the Rip City. Like, just everybody's gonna get fucked up there. They're gonna get to just take it out, man.
Yeah. I think Todd Howard's a great guy, but I don't know what the hell's going on. Their games generation have not been very good. They've dropped the ball. The quality's been down. But all these not Bethesda-like things, buggy games, microtransactions, mixed messaging, all these weird things that they never had issues with previous generations, all of a sudden they've stepped into them now, and they've been consistently bad. Like, I don't understand I can go down the list. Now, EA is EA. We don't even have to stop there. Activision, obviously, for some reasons you just discussed earlier. Capcom, there's a couple things there. The whole BS with Street Fighter. Obviously, the first thing about Street Fighter is it should have been multi-plat in the first damn place. When you decided just to throw it on PS4 and say screw Xbox.
Well, and it was a shitty game, right? Like, wasn't it like so much content was missing and it was like fucking weird?
The game came out and they couldn't even do the Street Fighter tournament because PSN was down. They couldn't even do the tournament. Like, are you kidding me? They had to delay the tournament because they couldn't even do it because the system was down. And then now they doing a little, what were they saying? Ads on the game now? On Street Fighter, they're going to be doing ads now? Like in-game ads?
It's going to be like a fucking, I don't know, like they're going to be like ads in the back or something. And all I pictured was like your character about to fight and then it looks like a fucking NASCAR stickers on him. And he's just like fighting, with shit on him, like McDonald's and McDowell's on his back and he's fighting. And that's it. Like, that's what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell Capcom is doing. Another reason why I hold them to that regard is because they're sitting on a ton of franchises that I think that a lot of people that could be helped as far as like being revived. Like we talked about this last week, Power Stone. Power Stone would be a great game. You know, it'd even be a good little game. You know, you can even do it. You know how they're remaking Streets of Rage? It's not really like they're not doing it like 3D. It's still going to be 2D side scroller kind of thing. You could even do that, maybe remaster Power Stone. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be dope. They're sitting on a ton of games, and the game, we're not even going to talk about Dead Rising. Where's that at? Gone. They're not even doing that anymore. Dead Rising is gone.
Dead Rising 4, man, like I beat it. I thought it was a little disappointing.
That's my point.
It's a little disappointing. But the other thing I don't like about Capcom is they publicly said this a while ago. I don't know if it was like, before E3 or after E3. It might have been before. Before I was even in the community, to be honest. I would read a little couple stuff, all this stuff, and they said that, hey, making new IPs costs a lot of money. It's like, yeah, making games costs a lot of money, dickhead. And they're just like, we're not gonna, invest into new IPs. We're gonna kind of just sit here and kind of do our own thing and kind of just keep making games of established IPs we have. It's like, wow, so you're not going to be creative whatsoever.
Not at all.
So cool story, kid. Thanks for coming.
Man, it's crazy. It's just that Capcom is weird. It's weird because I didn't really expect much from them. I mean, Dead Rising 3 actually was a solid game. When that first debuted back when E3 when Xbox was debuted
for the time it came out,
it looked great. It looked phenomenal, and the game was good. I don't know where they dropped the ball at, but these four, it's almost a four-way tie in my opinion. I think Bethesda, just based on the expectations and where I held Bethesda at with the Rockstars and these first-party 343s and those kind of studios, the Bungies at one point, even higher at some points. Especially with like Oblivion and during the Skyrim days, they were like the top. Would you agree with that? At that point, they were like that was one of
You're saying Bethesda was one of the top?
Yeah, during the Skyrim days when that game dropped, they were like top 3.
They were killing it. Like even Fallout 3, right? Like Fallout 3 and all those games, they were killing it. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like they were top, and in the number one thing, it wasn't that they were just topping with sales and all that. It was that they had the respect of the fans in the industry.
Yeah,
because people trusted them.
Yeah,
and then this shit happened, and people are just like, hold the fuck on, right? Yeah. And that's just what's going on. So I think they have some repairing to do, especially I think Rage 2 will help a little.
Yep.
I think
but that's not. Once again, that's a game that they're publishing. They're not making. That's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I get you. But I think that in order for them to repair the damage done, they're gonna have to support Fallout 76 a lot, put a lot of stuff into it. Try to make.
Is that even recoverable? Do you think they could even recover from the Fallout 76? I mean, maybe over time.
I mean, we've never seen anything like that, so we're gonna have to see.
Oh man.
So we're gonna have to see how that goes, and if it's not recoverable, then fuck, man, it sucks, and then we're gonna have to concentrate on Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, and I hope they are, because if Elder Scrolls comes out and they find a way to drop the ball, it's a wrap for Bethesda, because there's no way the media, that game has been ever since Skyrim, that game has been that's like on a unicorn list. Like everybody wants that game. They finally showed the little 10-second little trailer or whatever you want to call it, essentially just showing the name. And if they find a way to drop the ball, I don't know if that's going to be something that they can actually make it back from, because that game is too beloved. There's too many people who have waited too long for it. I mean, there were a couple years. Yeah, remember a couple years ago there were rumors. We were thinking we were going to see it a couple years ago, like an announcement for it. And it ended up being like the remaster for Skyrim and all of that kind of stuff, and then like the mods and everything for Skyrim on Xbox and all of that. But yeah, and if they find a way to screw up Elder Scrolls, it's a wrap, man. I don't think Bethesda can make it through that. I think they'd have to start from scratch at that point and figure something else out, because what'll help Bethesda is that they're so large and they're a huge publisher as well. They got a lot of other hands in cookie jars, so they could probably weather the financial storm. But as far as like their reputation, I don't know if they could bounce back from that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they'll bounce back if they kill it, right? Everything, in sports, everybody hates everybody if you're losing. Winning cures all kind of thing.
Yeah,
I think that's what they need to do. They got to get winning cures all kind of mentality. Like, let's put out some fucking bangers, let's kill it, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's all they need to do.
So Lewis in the chat said Doom Eternal, but that goes to my point, Lewis. That's a published game. So those games they do very well,
right, or something.
Yeah. Those games do very well, but that's not a Bethesda. They published the game, but they're not actually, they're not developing the game. So the Dishonored, those kind of things, the Dooms, like I said before, those do great. But it's just the games that they actually make themselves that people want have been subpar this generation, which kind of, I don't know. I hope hopefully they correct that shit because I mean, with we haven't even talked about this, but Outer Worlds, if that comes out and that's a hit, I mean, people may be looking at Bethesda like, who was that? They may forget all about. They may forget all about Bethesda until that next Elder Scrolls comes out because there's a lot of things coming in. If that Outer Worlds comes out and it's what people want and what people wanted out of 76, it's gonna be hard, man, to rub that off, and it's gonna be hard to get over that, to get people to convince people to say, hey, we're still, we still the developers you thought we were. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. That's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. So let's go ahead and move on, man. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the last topic here, guys. This is kind of a funny one because it's way too early to even talk about this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. We like to kind of do our pie in the sky, and it's way too early for E3. That's not till June. But we're gonna talk about some way too early E3 predictions. I know some people, there's articles going around. Some people have been talking about a couple of things, but I don't believe at this point anything anybody has to say about E3. Not in January. Not in January. Unless it's coming from like an executive or an official announcement. I'm not listening to anybody's list or leaks or anything like that. It's way too early for that. We'll start doing that in like March, May, somewhere around there. That we'll start looking at those things. But any early, like way too early E3 predictions for you? I'm hearing like, Splinter Cell and all these other games, Borderlands. Anything that you may be thinking
about? Jesus, this is such a fucking, it's a topic, man. I don't know. Like, I don't want to say anything that's going to be like, outlandish and stuff, but fuck it. Let's just have some fun. I think we're going to get, a couple things like, whatchamacallit, new studio announcements from Microsoft. I think, surprisingly, I don't think obviously Sony's not going to announce anything, but I think they might say some stuff or release like maybe a trailer, to be honest, around that time, but not like announce it. I think they're just going to release something like a trailer or a gameplay of something of a second party IP that they might have under the works. And I think Microsoft is going to start showing some stuff. I think they're going to show a new IP, probably Ninja Theories.
Okay.
And I think that Microsoft has said, they said at the last E3, Phil said at the last E3, we have a couple second party deals that we didn't announce.
True, he did mention that. That's right.
He did say that, and he could be lying, or he could be like, or maybe those second party deals turned into fucking studio acquisitions.
Could have been. Yeah.
Could have been, so we don't know. So I'm looking at that, and I'm honestly looking to see what they're going to talk about with the next generation consoles. Kind of want to see if they're going to hint at that stuff, maybe some xCloud stuff. Games wise, I think the new Batman is going to be shown.
Okay.
Hoping it is. Warner Brothers.
It's crazy because
Warner Brothers Montreal brought it up.
Think about this though. They're the only people that have an actual show. So I mean, they're going to do a 3-hour show this time around. Like I don't know where all of this is going to fit. You got to consider that too, as far as like, I mean, there's going to be other people doing announcements. Obviously, Ubi and EA, they usually do their own little, Bethesda as well, do their own little events. But you think that could all fit just in because they're the only people doing it. So you think they're gonna have enough time to do that?
Maybe they're gonna have their pick of the top AAA game or third party games, right?
Yeah,
they're gonna have their pick.
I mean, they should. They should have their pick, unless PlayStation knows that they're doing something later in the year and they've already got that worked out with some third party companies that, hey, we're not going to be at E3. We'll show your stuff later. But I don't know if I don't know how that all works. But anyway, go ahead and finish your point.
No, I mean, yeah, like they're gonna have their pick on that. So I don't know, like maybe they're gonna pick just the best games to show. So it's that good of a show, and condense it into 2 hours, maybe 2.5.
Yeah.
That's what I think is gonna happen if they have a lot to show, because I feel like they're gonna show Gears and Halo.
Yeah, they're gonna show Gears for sure. They have to.
I mean, they're gonna show Gears for sure. I think they're gonna show Gears, Halo, maybe a couple second party deals and a couple new IP. Like that's a lot to show, right?
Yeah,
that's a lot to show. And the what was I gonna say? Totally lost my train. Oh, so then like that's what I'm saying. So all those plus the third party, that's a lot of shit to show. And the Crackdown 3 is not going to be shown. So that's a little to me, Crackdown's kind of like that last game where it was like development hell, right?
Yeah.
Where Terry Myerson was around.
Yeah.
And I feel like every game after this, like after that, is kind of like you've had the money, develop something nice and push that bitch out.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking forward to, That's what I'm looking forward to see them bringing out. I want at least 1 to 2 new IPs shown, and if they're not ready, cool. Explain that they're not ready. Say, hey, we have some other shit in the works, but they're not ready to be shown, and we don't want to show you something that is too early. Cool.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Cool. Like, I would take that. I don't care. If it's not ready, don't show it,
Yeah.
But I think they have the opportunity to just grab the hype for the next year and a half, technically,
Yeah, technically, yeah. By then it'll be like almost a year and a half. So yeah, cool. Okay, so Lewis in the chat, shout out to Lewis L. He said the Initiative teaser. I doubt that we see anything from the Initiative anytime soon. That studio is still they're still hiring for it. So I don't even know if they have anything in the works there. That's definitely a pie in the sky, Lewis. He also said Cyberpunk 2077 official release date. Now I could see that happening at E3. Them actually giving a release date for E3, maybe a year, maybe not a like specific month or anything, maybe 2019, 2020, maybe 2020.
I think Cyberpunk's a lot farther than people think. I think
you think next year?
I think Cyberpunk's 2021.
2021?
Yeah, I think it's 2 years away, because if you looked at the demo, right, that like 45-minute demo, they straight up said this is not how this game might not look like this when it releases, so do not take this as concrete. They were very forward about it.
Oh yeah.
So
they did also mention, Zucker, that the game was playable from start to finish.
Yeah, but then that for if we know CD Projekt Red, that's about 50 hour experience right there, start to finish. You add in another basically another entire fucking game and side missions, and then add another game with like all this other side stuff, story stuff that you could do. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, those guys make 150 to 200 hour experiences when they make a game. So that's what I'm looking at. And if you look at the demo, if you look at the background, like the buildings and shit, it's all fuzzy. It looks like 360 graphics.
Yeah, the draw distance wasn't very good. If you really pay attention.
That takes time to get that shit ironed out. And I know those dudes are taking their time, because they made a fucking killing with Witcher 3. So they're an independent studio that's kind of like chilling, like we're good. Like, we had our hit. We're gonna make another one.
And that 45-minute trailer, I think, was enough to give that bought them as much time as they needed. Really. That really gave them as much time as they needed for the actual. They don't have to come out and say, "Hey, this game is coming in the next year or two." That 45-minute was enough to say, "Okay, we're gonna let you do your thing. we're not gonna complain. We're not gonna riot in the streets because the game isn't coming in a year or whatever. Do your thing. Just make the game as best as you possibly can." So I think that bought them a lot of time, and I think that's the reason they did that, because it was very unexpected. None of us knew that they were going to be giving us that much gameplay this early. I definitely didn't.
I thought, it was it was, because we had that awesome trailer with the awesome music. By the way, I love that music. I found that music and I listened to it when I code and whatever. It was just really cool. And then they could have left it at that for a year, to be honest. But then they were like, "Nah, here's 45-minute gameplay. Go fuck yourself and melt your face."
Yeah,
right.
It was great.
And so it's kind of crazy that they do that. But another game, sorry to like switch over, that I want to put it out there before I forget it. Another game is, I want to see that Avengers game that Crystal Dynamics has been working on. They announced that 4 years ago, man. Literally. So it's about that time, and it's been 3 years since a Batman game. Like, Spider-Man just destroyed. Like, it's about
aren't we finally getting that Jedi game, that new Star Wars game as well?
Yeah. Good shit. That's coming out next year too.
Yeah.
That's made by Respawn, right? The guys that made Titanfall. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure. I have to go do some research on that. But yeah, they talked about that game this past E3. They showed that at the actual EA event quite a bit. That was like one of the only things they actually showed there. So, but other than that, though, man, I think for me, if I just had to go left field and just go way out there, obviously Borderlands is something I like to see. I don't know what the fuck Gearbox is doing. Sorry to excuse my language, but I'm frustrated with them. I don't really know how else to say it. I'm a huge Borderlands fan, and I just don't know why they're not giving us.
They're kind of not giving. They're kind of not helping themselves. I think. Borderlands is a good franchise. It's an amazing.
It's a great franchise. Yeah.
You need to capitalize on it. There is time. Like, hey, let's wait a little bit and bring a game out later. But you know, I feel like when's the last time? When did Borderlands 2 come out, or the whatever the fuck it was, the prequel?
The 360. Oh, the
Yeah,
prequel came out 360. That was
yeah.
360.
So
Yeah.
exactly. So that's what I'm trying to say. It kind of has like, I know it's gonna sell well, people. It's not. This is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, it kind of has that Avatar feel, right? Like Avatar killed it. People
Mm-hmm.
loved the movie, and then now they're bringing out another one 10, 12 years later. It's like you missed the boat.
Yeah.
You
That
missed
window of
that hype boat,
opportunity.
that window of opportunity, and this game, Borderlands, is like a phenomenon. People fucking love
Oh
it.
my God! It
People love
listen.
it.
The looter shooter wouldn't be what it is now. These games we're playing, Destiny, they owe a lot to Borderlands because that was one of the first to do it in the way it did. And like I said, Borderlands still offers a different experience than any other looter shooter you ever play. Like the characters, the humor, like all of that. You're not gonna get that in Destiny. You're not getting that in any other game. Like, and you're still getting the looter shooter. You're scratching that same itch. Millions of guns, hundreds of thousands of variations, all these cool things that I mean, imagine if that many weapons were in Destiny.
Yeah, Jesus.
I mean, we complain now about, oh man, our Destiny, the lack of weapons, you need certain things to do. There's a 200, 300,000 different weapons in Borderlands. Like, are you serious? Like, come on now. So it's just, Borderlands is something that I'd like to see. Splinter Cell is another.
That's gone, bro. I'm hearing that's gone.
I know. I saw. Well.
I mean, I've heard that it's like from other people, like it's
Oh
gone.
my
Like I'm not gonna name
goodness.
names, but I've heard, and
Don't
I
do that to
felt
me,
like
Zol.
I felt like it
Let
was
me
gone.
hold on to
Apparently,
my last little ray of hope.
well, Ubisoft, it's Ubisoft, right? Am I tripping? Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft. Yeah.
Ubisoft apparently feels like if you look at the Hitman series, it's you know, it's not
But
similar, but it is similar. It's assassination stuff. You know what I mean? Like kind of like high tech assassin shit. They feel that a lot of people might be asking for a Splinter Cell game, but they think that the demand for it is not as high as people are saying.
got it.
Stuff like
Okay.
that, kind of like yeah, there's people making a fuss about it, but you know,
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough because if you there, I mean, there's no other. What other game we've gotten that's similar to that this generation? We got Hitman, true. We did get that, but besides that, I mean, the Metal Gear was trash. I'm sorry, the last Metal Gear we got was trash. Okay.
mm-hmm.
I mean, other than that, there's no spy games out. What the hell are they
I
talking about?
mean,
There's no.
kind of, I would say Wildlands is a little bit like it. Like you
It
go
is.
do stuff.
It's
You
true.
do a little
It's true.
stuff like that. I'd say
Ghost Recon.
I
That's
would say
that's
the
fair.
division, a little bit
Okay.
like that. Like
But
you're kind
Splinter
of
Cell
going.
wasn't. That's more of a. Well, with those games,
I
I
would
don't
say
know.
Splinter Cell got honestly. I would say Splinter Cell got hurt by Assassin's Creed dominance.
Yeah, yeah. They could have. It could have been a situation like you said. That window, they could have just missed the window, and now it's like, what's the point of putting that kind of game out right now when we don't think it's going to garner the type of attention that maybe it would have a few years ago or early this generation. A Splinter Cell would have been great early this generation, but now I get it. Maybe my heart's bigger than what I really what I'm saying, because like I really want the game because it's fantastic, but it'd just be nice to get those games essentially. Anything else? Maybe like obviously studio acquisitions. We're hearing that as well. We're hearing a lot of things about
Next gen stuff, like
next gen stuff.
system,
I don't.
new
That's
IP.
and that's another thing too, Zol, is that Microsoft is kind of in a weird spot. Do they say something about this next console? Do they withhold that information? Do they even mention anything about a new generation? As far as new
They already
console.
have.
I mean, they said that they've been working on it. They're already
That's
working on it.
announcing it,
But I
bro.
mean,
Like I'm sorry, like for them to be on the biggest stage in the world, the E3, gaming stage in the world, and you'd say our engineers and mechanical engineers, whatever, they're working on this. Like that's a hey,
yeah,
that's it's coming, motherfucker.
it's coming, dude. That doesn't mean. I mean, do you take the time? I mean, I guess you could do something at the end. Maybe a little teaser here or there. Maybe kind of how they did it with the X. Kind of bring some devs or do a little nice little
Yeah,
sizzle reel
that's what I kind
kind
of
of thing.
expect. I kind of expect that. I don't think the system will be shown off.
I don't think it will be either.
I expect hey, a little bit of the specs,
Yeah.
and that's about it.
Cool. All right, cool. Not a problem. So that was our way too early E3 predictions, man. We did the best we can. A lot of this stuff is months out. Obviously, depending on the day and the week, this may change with a tweet. Who knows? Between now and E3, we may get some crazy information that may completely change our minds. But that's our predictions, guys, and that's pretty much gonna wrap up the show for today. It's a little bit of a shorter show, just me and Zal kind of rocking out today. But thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for showing support and love on the podcast. It's always fun to do this, no matter if it's 2 of us or 20 of us. We always enjoy doing this for you guys. So drop a like on your way out on the video. Zalker, let everybody know what you got going on with you. I know you're cooking up over there. You're putting out videos very consistently. Kind of tell everybody what you're doing.
Yeah, guys, I'm playing games, I'm hanging out with the boys, you know what I mean, and working. But yeah, no, I'm putting videos out as much as I can. I have one cooking up, coming up. It's a little controversial. People might not like it too much. I mean, some people.
You mean the internet doesn't like controversy? Get out of here.
I mean, what? What's the internet for? The internet's always honest, remember?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's gonna be a little controversial, but it's all right. I'm not trying to hate on anything. It's just my preference of what I want. So you guys can find me at Zalker87 on Twitter. Go follow me. I'm always on there, joking around, talking with people, posting news, commenting on news, trolling PlayStation fans. And then you guys can follow me on you guys can go on to my YouTube channel, Zalker87. Check me out. Check out the videos. Sub. I'm almost at 500. I'm looking forward to it.
Crazy already, bro. That's crazy. I told you.
I'm just having fun, man. I'm just having fun.
That's the best part about it. Like I told you, man, you're amazing. So you guys, his link will be in the description below to his YouTube channel. So please, if you subscribe to me, go subscribe to him as well. Definitely want to support Zalker. Great content, really high quality stuff, guys. As far as audio and visual as well, he takes a lot of time to make these videos and put them out. So go show your support. I appreciate you coming on every week, bro, to hang out with me and the rest of the panel when they're here and just talk games. So once again, guys, PTK Blame across the board. If you're not already following me on Twitter, all of that's in the description below, as well as the rest of the panel members there. Shout out to King James, everybody that hung out with us today, Lewis.
Thanks for coming by, everybody.
Lion, everybody. A little bit shorter show, but we're gonna still get it in anyway. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with us today. Enjoy the rest of your Saturdays, guys. The Shop Podcast will be live next Saturday once again. We'll have a guest on next week. We may be doing something a little different. As far as maybe we might be letting the actual subscribers run the show next week, Zalker. So it may be kind of handing over the keys to the podcast. So if you guys are excited about that, let me know. Hit me.
Don't abuse us, folks.
Hey. I still got admin rights. So at the end of the day, we just want to make this as engaging, as fun for you guys as possible, because you guys come out every week and show support. So peace out, everybody. You guys have a great weekend. Thank you for coming out. See you guys later on this week. Have a good one.
Later, everybody.